The hold didn't feel the same after the man returned. It hadn't been the words. It was the certainty, the calm way he'd spoken about being improved, the way his eyes had locked onto Everlyn as if she were a variable, not a person, the way fear in the room had changed shape, not into panic, but into dread. Violence had been terrifying. This was worse, because it suggested the Xarthians didn't need to kill you to win. They only needed to make you stop being you. The fractured sections of the processing hold remained in place, light seams dividing 5 pockets of humanity separated by inches that might as well have been space. Families huddled closer, soldiers stood tighter, people avoided each other's eyes, afraid of what they might see reflected there. Everlyn stood still in her section, breathing slow, gaze unfixed. She let the horror settle, not because she was cruel, but because if she tried to erase it, the room would fill it with worse. Kaelen stood nearby, shoulders set, jaw tight, holding back since the darkness, built for decisive moments, not slow poison. Malik was a statue of muscle and contained anger, every line of him resisting the urge to break something just to prove he could. And across the fractured seams, Lyra remained alone, still, quiet, a wolf in a cage made of light. Everlyn met Lyra's eyes. No words, no signals, just the shared understanding of one truth. They couldn't let the Xarthians rewrite them. Across the ship, Kaelen moved through the vent network like she belonged there, mapping, not rushing, not hesitating. The ship tightened its systems, sealing routes, rerouting airflow, collapsing pathways. But Kaelen wasn't relying on one path anymore. She was building a model. She sent impressions through the link when she could. Layout fragments, patrol shifts, the way doors opened under certain power draws. Everlyn received them like pulse checks. The thread was thinner now, but it held. Barely. In the hold, the system tested them again. A seam brightened. A pulse swept through 2 sections. Soft, almost gentle. Not neutralizing. Sampling. Like the ship was checking who had changed after the horror. Everlyn didn't react. She didn't let her breathing tighten. She didn't let the pack align into anything readable. She became ordinary. And then she spoke. Not loud, not commanding, just enough to carry. They want you to forget yourself. The civilians didn't answer. They didn't have to. The truth sat heavy in their eyes. They will offer it as relief, as improvement, as peace. Kane's jaw clenched harder. Malik's hands flexed once. Lyra's head lifted slightly, attention sharpening. They will tell you compliance is evolution. They will say fear is inefficient. She let it land, then shifted, not into anger, but certainty. But fear keeps children alive. Grief keeps love real. Rage reminds you where the line is. And if they take that from you, you don't survive. The room stayed quiet, but something changed. Not a rally, not a cheer, a refusal. Across the ship, Kaelen felt it like warmth in cold metal. Everlyn wasn't calling a pack. She was calling identity back into place. Kaelen sent one impression. Good. We are not going to win by being louder, Everlyn said. We win by staying ourselves long enough to cut through. Kaelen exhaled. Malik nodded once. It's not the barriers that keep us apart, she said. It's panic. It's noise. It's the belief that we're alone. Then she did something small, lowered her hand, and flexed her fingers twice. Kaelen mirrored it. Malik mirrored it. And after a long beat, Lyra mirrored it. A code with no words. A pack rhythm. We're still here. Kaelen felt it, aligned with it, then sent one clean detail. A vent return near Section 3. a maintenance seam behind the upper tier, cycling. Everlyn didn't react outwardly, but inside something clicked. Section 3. Lyra. Malik. A seam the ship assumed no one watched. She didn't look. She simply let it settle. Kaelen felt it. Malik felt it. Lyra felt it. Not through words, but through stillness that meant ready. The ship listened. The hum deepened. Another pulse swept stronger, searching. Everlyn stayed calm, stable, harmless, compliant. A lie. The pulse faded. The seams remained. But the hold was no longer fractured by fear. It was fractured into pieces of a plan. "We remember who we are," she said. And in the quiet that followed, the wolves did. Not as monsters, not as weapons, as themselves. Across the ship, Kaelen moved again, deeper, mapping the next step. She didn't need rescue. She needed where to cut, where to blind, where to break the machine at the right moment. Everlyn felt the link thin, but beneath it, something new. Not fear, not dread. Purpose. And for the first time since the capture, the Xarthian system was no longer the only thing writing patterns. The wolves had started writing their own.